Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this one we are going to talk about radical self-accountability and how it changed my life. Now, what if I told you that everything that happens to you is your fault? Right? I know that some people are going to be upset at this, so I do want to give the disclaimer that obviously we are not talking about stuff like sexual molestation. I myself have been sexually molested as a child, and obviously it was not my fault. I didn't deserve that. Obviously, if you are a victim of neglect or abuse in any way, shape or form, or bullying, obviously it wasn't your fault. But however, healing from that will be your responsibility. I want to take the analogy of a car accident here. Let's just say, God forbid, that you are just driving your car, on the highway. You're just minding the business that pays you, listening to music maybe, and then this huge bus, it's just coming and going right through, right in your window, right into your car, right? And let's say that, God forbid, it does hit you on your legs and you cannot walk anymore, but for a while, but you're not going to walk ever again. Like the car accident wasn't your fault, right? You were just minding the business that pays you, staying on your lane, right? But now you are going to have to go to physical therapy and learn how to walk again. And I would say that radical accountability kind of works this way as well, where we may not always be responsible for the stuff that happened to us, but sadly many times we will be responsible for the healing. I'm going to tell you a story here. I used to go around, even not too long ago, a couple of years ago, I used to be a people pleaser of the worst kind. I've talked about that ad nauseum on this channel. I used to go along to get along. I used to say yes to everything, and I used to have a very hard time, saying no and just having a backbone. And I would always, obviously, that would lead, to a lot of resentment, and I would be very resentful of my friends and associates, and I would always go, to then other friends and complain to them about how I'm tired of being used and abused, and how I'm tired of, lending my money and never getting it back, or even having to be the one to go and give it, and yada blah blah. But in the midst of all of this, what I was not realizing is that I was at fault somewhere, because I was agreeing to this, right? I was agreeing into lending my money, even though these people have lended before and never returned it. So why would I borrow it to them again, right? It doesn't make any sense. But I was not taking the accountability here, the role that I played in my own misery, right? I mean, if friends are not respecting your boundaries and they're being disrespectful towards you, you get to cut them off, right? You don't have to be in contact with them. Now, I know this is unpopular opinion. I know that some people are born more assertive than others, but I actually believe that the same fate even applies for family. If your family of origin is toxic, if they have abused you already early on, if you're a victim of early neglect, you have the right to not want to be in contact with them anymore. I know that everyone doesn't agree with this, but I don't think that, we owe our parents anything. I mean, abusive parents, that goes without saying, right? At least in my book, right? This also applies to your financial situation. Now, I understand that, pull yourself by the bootstrap mentality is something that there is a lot of pushback against, rightfully so. I do feel that, marginalized identities can be in positions where they will not be able, to pull themselves from the bootstrap, because they have so many obstacles coming their way. However, I know so many people who are always constantly complaining about how they don't have any money, but yet I see them spending $19.99 at Zara every second day. Now, if you are someone who is struggling a lot financially, I can invite you to do this exercise that has helped me tremendously in my coming out of that journey, and is write down every single cent that you spend. Every single cent. Because many times we feel like we're on top of our finances and we're on top of our money, but if we were to write down every expense, do not let anything from coffee to putting gas into your car to everything, write down every cent, and I can guarantee you, I promise you, that if you do this, you are going to see some loopholes. You are going to see money that you are spending in wants and not needs. And sadly, when one is in not a very great financial situation, obviously, you should stick to needs and not, you know, indulge into wants. The same can apply to your Amazon account if you have any. Obviously this video is not sponsored by Amazon, but you know, go on. If you put something like on Amazon and you finally buy it, I would say give yourself time. Do not, you know, pull the trigger immediately. Just let it there for a couple of days, you know, and then if you leave it there for 4 or 5 days, you know, in your cards, and you then still feel, you know, the need, the want to buy it, then go ahead and buy it. But do not, you know, because many times we just go through, you know, impulsive buying. Many people, myself included, you know, I have used retail therapy a lot. You know, we are not feeling good, we are not having the best day, and then we're like, okay, let me just go on Amazon or any other website, you know, and get me something, but it's not necessarily something we need. And then, you know, a couple of weeks later, you know, we realize that that is money that, you know, we could have saved and used in something more useful for your kids, or, you know, towards a tangible bill like rent or electricity or anything like that, you know. Obviously this is difficult, I'm not gonna lie, you know, taking accountability is not easy. Okay, it is something that takes introspection, it does take self-reflection, you know. It's going, you know, there is some blame that is going to be involved, perhaps some guilt, perhaps some shame. So I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, this is baby easy and voila, but it is something that is sometimes very necessary and helpful. At the end of the day, you know, you are going to come out of this like bigger. And the last point that I want to talk about here is taking accountability towards our relationships with family and friends. I understand that, you know, lately in the world, this politic of, you know, I'm only responsible for what I say and not for what you hear has been going along a lot. And, you know, there is some truth in that. You know, we are not responsible for what other people hear or what they choose to understand or how they feel, you know, especially since a lot of people are dead set on hearing only what they want to hear anyway. So that goes without saying. But obviously sometimes we do say and do things that are hurtful and harmful to our loved ones and family members. I want to call you here not, you know, to be you know, a strong-headed person when someone's, you know, tell you about a time that you said or did something that was very hurtful to them. I understand that our first instinct is to protect ourselves and, you know, shift the blame and deny, but, you know, your relationships with your friends and family members are going to be so much better and so much healthier if you sometimes, obviously only if you feel that, you know, there is some truth, you know, in whatever it is they're saying, you know, is being the bigger person and say, you know what, I'm actually sorry, I did that and I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, you know. Also get into the habit of apologizing without, you know, making too much excuses for yourself. You know, don't say, yeah, I did it, but I only did it because you did XYZ. That is not an apology, that is not sincere, that is not nice, and the other person is not going to feel better, you know. Get in the habit of saying, you know what, I did it, I'm sorry it hurt you, it wasn't all right, it wasn't okay, in the future I'm gonna do better and actually do better, okay? Because the best apology is a change behavior. Now, if you made it to the end of this video, I am grateful and appreciative of you. Please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys as per usual in the next one tomorrow. Bye guys.